The Al-Jawni school in central Gaza has been hit several times since Israel's military campaign in response to Hamas' October 7 terror attack. The latest strike on Wednesday killed 18 people. This Palestinian, who did not give his name, searched through the rubble.
It's a bag full of human remains from the strike on the school. We've been going through hell for 340 days now.
The UN says that 6 of those killed work for UNRWA, the UN agency for Palestinian refugees, including the shelter's manager. Some 12,000 people are sheltering at the school. Israel defended the strike and said that the aid workers were in fact members of Hamas.
When a school is no longer a school and becomes a Hamas command and control center used by Hamas terrorists to plan and execute terrorist attacks against our troops and against our people here in the state of Israel, then it becomes a legitimate target.
The UN neither confirms nor denies Israel's accusation that the killed UNRWA staff were Hamas. Speaking from Poland Thursday, U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken again called for a ceasefire and criticized both sides.
We need to see humanitarian sites protected, and that's something that we continue to raise with Israel. We continue to see Hamas hiding taking over, and otherwise using these sites from which to conduct its operations.
Israel has repeatedly accused UNRWA workers of being tied to militant groups in Gaza. Natasha Hall, senior fellow at the Center for Strategic and International Studies, via Skype.
We've heard this before, but we have not seen evidence. It remains to be seen if U.S. officials have seen that evidence as well. But what we do know is that there were thousands of people that were sheltering at this school. We know that it's the 6th school to be targeted since October 1st by the Israeli military. And we also know that there are rules of warfare.
Meanwhile, Turkey blames Israel and announced its own probe into the death of Ayşenur Eşgeğegi, a Turkish-American activist who was killed by Israeli forces last week while protesting settlements in the occupied West Bank.
We will take every legal step to ensure that the blood of our Ayşenur Eşgeğegi does not remain on the ground.
Israel's campaign in Gaza has continued for 11 months despite U.S. pressure for parties to reach a ceasefire in return for the release of hostages held by Hamas. The U.S.-designated terror group said Wednesday it is ready to implement the U.S. proposal without new conditions from any party. Sticking points include control of the Philadelphia corridor, a narrow stretch of land on Gaza's border with Egypt. The U.S. said Saturday a more detailed ceasefire proposal would be made in the next several days. Patsy, Widakuswara, VOA News at the White House.